A peaceful summer afternoon at a pool, a space meant for relaxation. For Shane Holland, a black man living in an Indianapolis apartment complex, it was supposed to be just that. After a long workout, Shane decided to unwind by the pool, a privilege he rightly had as a paying resident. But that moment of calm was soon disrupted. A white woman, another resident at the complex, approached Shane. Her tone wasn't friendly. Instead of a simple greeting, she started questioning him. "Do you live here?" she asked, her eyes scanning him as if he didn't belong. Shane, visibly confused, showed her his key fob, a standard proof of residency for the complex. But that wasn't enough for her. She insisted he provide his exact address, an invasive demand that Shane wasn't comfortable with. And why should he be? After all, it was clear to him, and soon to everyone watching the incident unfold online, that this confrontation wasn't just about pool rules. It was about something deeper and far more troubling. What happened to Shane is a painful reminder of racial profiling, an ugly reality many face in everyday situations. Spaces meant for enjoyment, like a community pool, suddenly become battlegrounds where someone's right to exist is questioned simply because of the color of their skin. The woman's actions sent a powerful, if unspoken, message. You don't belong here. And sadly, it's a message Shane and countless others have encountered time and time again. The sun was high in the sky, casting a warm glow over the pool at an apartment complex in Indianapolis. It was the kind of place where neighbors come to unwind, enjoying the simple pleasure of a swim or just lounging by the water on a hot day. The pool, surrounded by lush greenery, was a peaceful retreat for residents to escape the bustle of everyday life. It was a shared space, a place where anyone with access could come to relax, cool off, or catch up with friends. On this particular afternoon, Shane Holland, a resident of the complex, found himself there after a tough workout. He'd just finished hitting the gym and decided to take a well-deserved break by the pool. Shane was used to this routine. It was his moment of calm, his chance to let the stress of the day melt away in the cool water. Shane had every right to be there. He lived in the complex paying rent like anyone else and had access to the amenities. As he settled in, his only goal was to relax. There was no tension, no conflict, just a man enjoying a quiet moment after pushing his body through a challenging workout. Little did he know this peaceful break would soon take an unexpected and unsettling turn. As Shane settled into his spot by the pool, a woman walked up to him. At first, it seemed like just another neighbor, maybe someone stopping to chat. But then her words cut through the calm. "Do you even live here?" she asked, her tone sharp and questioning. It wasn't a friendly, casual inquiry. It felt more like an accusation. Shane looked up a bit startled by the directness of her question. He was taken aback. Why was she asking him this? He was a resident just like anyone else there. He had every right to be at the pool, yet here she was doubting that fact. The woman didn't stop there. She pressed him further, insisting that he prove his residency. "I need your address," she demanded. Shane was taken aback. "What's the need for my address?" he thought to himself. His mind raced as he glanced around the pool, wondering if other residents were being asked the same invasive questions. But this moment wasn't about anyone else. It was about him. Rather than complying without question, Shane calmly responded, showing her his key fob, the proof of residency he carried with him. He wasn't willing to give her his address without some proper identification from her side. After all, if she was going to question his right to be there, he had every right to ask for some verification in return. The woman, however, didn't seem satisfied with that. Her demand hung in the air heavy with an underlying assumption he wasn't supposed to be there. Frustrated, the woman pulled out her phone and dialed the apartment manager. Shane watched as she spoke with someone on the other end of the line, clearly escalating the situation. He remained calm, unsure of what was coming next, but ready to stand his ground. Moments later, the manager arrived. Shane, recognizing her, greeted her by name. He had lived in the complex for some time, and this wasn't his first interaction with the staff. But instead of offering the usual pleasantries, the manager's response was immediate and unexpected. Despite Shane addressing her by name, and despite the key fob he had shown the woman as proof of his residency, the manager didn't take any of that into account. She told Shane he had to leave the pool. Why? Because he hadn't provided his address. The absurdity of the situation hit him hard. He'd already shown his proof of residency, but it didn't seem to matter. What struck Shane most, though, was the glaring inconsistency in the whole situation. As he looked around, he noticed that other residents at the pool, many of them white, weren't being questioned. No one else was asked for their address. No one else was asked to leave. It was as if this entire confrontation had been directed at him simply because of his skin color. Shane stood there trying to make sense of the unfairness. It was clear that the woman's actions had nothing to do with the rules of the pool. It was about something much deeper, something that he had unfortunately experienced before. As the manager insisted that he leave the pool, Shane made a choice that would change everything. He decided to start recording the incident on his phone. He knew that without evidence, his word alone might not be enough. In a world where racial profiling often goes unchallenged, having a record of what was happening was the only way to ensure the truth was seen. The video captured every moment: the confrontation with the woman, the manager's refusal to acknowledge Shane's proof of residency, and the blatant unfairness of it all. Shane knew that this wasn't just a personal issue. It was a larger problem, one that many people faced, but rarely had the opportunity to show. As soon as the video hit social media, it quickly spread. The reactions were swift and powerful. People from all over voiced their outrage, and the video went viral. What had started as a quiet afternoon at the pool was now a nationwide conversation about racism, privilege, and accountability. The apartment complex's management couldn't ignore the attention. The video had put the spotlight on their actions, and it wasn't long before they responded. The manager who had handled the situation poorly was placed on administrative leave. An investigation was launched to determine what went wrong and whether any disciplinary actions would be taken. Shane's decision to record the incident didn't just shine a light on his personal experience. It brought the issue of racial profiling to the forefront, forcing those in charge to confront it head-on. Shane's experience wasn't an isolated incident. Racial profiling in public spaces, including pools, has been an ongoing problem in the U.S. This isn't the first time someone has been unfairly questioned or told to leave simply because of their skin color. Similar incidents have occurred in community pools, gyms, parks, and even at stores, where Black people, often just trying to enjoy a normal day, are singled out for no reason other than their race. Across the country, there have been numerous cases where Black individuals have faced discrimination in public spaces. From being asked to leave for not belonging to being falsely accused of wrongdoings, the stories are disturbingly similar. In many cases, these individuals were simply enjoying time with family or friends, yet they were treated as outsiders, as if they didn't have the same right to exist in those spaces as others. What makes these incidents even more powerful, and in some cases heartbreaking, is the role social media has played in exposing them. With the rise of platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, the everyday experiences of people who have faced racial profiling are no longer confined to whispers or local news stories. They can go viral in an instant, reaching millions. Social media has allowed these stories to be seen by a much wider audience. What might have once been overlooked or ignored can now spark national conversations. The public outcry that follows these viral videos forces businesses, local governments, and institutions to respond. It holds them accountable, demanding change where it's needed. Shane's decision to record his experience didn't just expose the wrong he faced in that moment. It helped amplify a much larger issue. Social media has become a tool for justice, giving people a platform to share their stories and ensuring that incidents of racial profiling can no longer be easily swept under the rug. Shane's experience at the pool is just one example of the many instances of everyday racism that still occur across the country. It's a reminder that racial profiling isn't just something that happens in big, high-profile cases. It happens in everyday spaces, often unnoticed unless we choose to confront it. It's important to recognize that these incidents don't just affect the individuals involved, they shape the communities we live in. The more we turn a blind eye, the more these harmful behaviors are allowed to persist. But the more we speak out, the more we can create change. We all have a role to play in challenging racism, whether it's standing up in the moment, supporting those affected, or simply being aware of the bias that exists around us. Racial profiling can be stopped, but only if we collectively work toward a more just and inclusive society. So, the next time you witness an injustice, remember Shane's story and think about what you can do to help. Don't let these moments go unnoticed. If this video helped you see the importance of confronting racism, give it a like and share it with others. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content that brings these critical issues to light. Together, we can make a difference.